What's up, weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here. If you saw the last video, you'll know I was at Burt Black Pearl test riding some Indians, and at the end of that video, I told you guys I was actually taking a motorcycle home. That's kind of odd for me because when I go into most dealerships, unless there's a really cheap used bike there, there's nothing there that I really think that I could take home. My bike tastes are more like my Dirtster right here. Something I paid $1,500 for and then made into this abomination. But it works, it works. It might be ugly, but it works. You know, when it comes to touring bikes, it's more like my Goldwing, the Bangkok Bagger over here, another $1,500 special that's taken me all over the country and back. And as far as new bikes, the last new bike I got is that Honda XR150 right there because it was the cheapest bike that Honda makes. With a sticker price of a little over $3 grand, that was hard to say no to, but that little XR150 has a new owner, and it's not Chloe Cox, even though she's been learning to ride on it. We ended up raffling that off for Forgotten Angels, and he's coming down to the camp out to pick it up. Now, I asked you guys to guess what I took home, and there was a lot of guesses for FTR because I was so impressed by it, and they're discontinuing it, but the FTR is out of my price range. Plenty of guesses for the Triumph Rocket 3, but that's definitely out of my price range. Amazing bike. I'd love to have one, but not in the cards for old Shade Tree Surgeon. In fact, walking into an Indian and Triumph dealership, nothing I would have assumed was in the cards for me. Indian and Triumph aren't exactly known for making bargain bikes, but I was really shocked when I found out that there was something that I could actually take home on the floor that was brand new. I think only one person actually guessed this, but yes, we now have in the stable a Triumph Speed 400. Now, full disclosure on this Speed 400, right now it is a loaner from Burt's Black Pearl, but in the vein of if you break it, you bought it, I didn't want to take home a loaner that I couldn't afford to buy. And while I have taken home bikes from Burt's on loan that I couldn't afford before, I try to avoid doing it too much because when I give my opinion on something, I don't really like to give my opinion on any kind of long-term tester that I wouldn't really consider buying. So every bike I've taken from Burt's that has been a long-term tester, and huge thanks to them for trusting this dirty hobo swamp wizard with their bikes, it's been something that I would consider actually purchasing myself. And not just like in a fantasy world, like I'd actually consider spending the money on it. And I rode this bike up there. We'll jump back to that test ride here in a minute. I was blown away by how good this bike was. Now, before I ever even rode it, I was blown away by the price. $4,900 for this bike, $4,995. Of course, you're gonna have fees at the dealer and taxes that are gonna put it over that $5,000 mark. But a base MSRP of $4,900 for a Triumph? That is unheard of. And you might be going, well, yeah, it's just a 400. Well, when I rode it, it's definitely not just a 400. But enough yapping about this bike. Let's jump back to Burt's and see how 400 cc's of English, well, maybe not English, Thailand, wherever the plants are, India, somewhere like that. But hey, I see what those people put on the back of their motorcycles. They're hauling cows and donkeys and 16 members of their extended family on the motors they build out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and trust them to build a small CC motor that can handle 300 pounds of all American twisted steel and sex appeal, baby. Is it up to the task? There's only one way to find out. Okay, let's see what this little 400's made of. I'm immediately like smiling ear to ear. I immediately am smiling on this motorcycle. Not even out of the parking lot. I can already tell this thing is gonna be a freaking riot, dude. Oh yeah. Whoa, that makes more power than I expected it to. All right. Oh yeah, that does just fine, dude. Up to 60 miles an hour immediately. This does not feel like it's 400 cc's at all. This is exactly what I wanted it to be when I threw a leg over it, man. It's light, it's fun, it makes you want to be a hooligan. This is a competition for the Honda Grom. I mean, I guess it isn't. I guess competition would mainly be like the KTM Duke 390 or the 390 Adventure, because they do make a scrambler version of this in addition to the Speed 400. But come on, man,
it feels like way more just like a really hopped up Grom. It feels like exactly the kind of bike you'd want to go into a parking lot and be an asshole with. It feels like a parking lot wheelie machine, man. I don't know, who knows, maybe a little scene will pop up around these. I think that this is a way cooler, way more fun bike to modify and mess around with and do almost like little mini moto rides with, maybe little mini racing like they do at go-kart tracks, because it's such a cool bike, dude. Oh yeah, I don't want to whip on it too much because it's only got a few miles on it, but I can already tell this thing would be a wheelie machine for sure. Now, it's not so fast that you're going to get hurt on it. It could definitely still be a beginner bike, but so can a Grom. And you can do wheelies on a Grom all day long. It's not that it's got so much power that it will do wheelies, it's that it's light, it's flickable, it's got good suspension. I like this bike a lot. I think this bike is a freaking winner, dude. Good job, Triumph. It's been a minute since I said good job to Triumph, but this is a good job. On top of the fact that, yes, easily highway speeds. Easily, dude. No freaking problem, man. Does not feel weird or stressed out going high. I'm just 65 miles an hour, right into traffic. No problem at all. Yeah, it's only 400 cc's. I don't foresee that being any kind of problem whatsoever. How is Suzuki still selling the DRZ 400? How the hell? And on what planet are they still getting away with selling the DRZ 400? The times have changed. The world has moved on. When you could go out and buy this motorcycle, this bike, and maybe the Scrambler version would be more comparable to the DRZ 400. But when this motorcycle exists, why the hell would you ever buy a DRZ 400? This is infinitely cooler, to me anyway. And I'm not saying DRZ 400 suck. They're cool bikes, but come on, man. This bike is awesome. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Exactly. Light, nimble, fun. Oh yeah, dude. I gotta get off this thing because if I spend any more time on it, I'm gonna start pushing its limits, dude. I might be a big boy and I might be really bad at doing wheelies, but that's never stopped me from doing them. And this thing is just begging you to be a hooligan. It's begging. This has got big Grom energy, man. Big Grom energy. I like it, dude. It's just like, I like the Trail 125 and I like the Honda Monkey. The Grom styling is not for me. And this is like if you had a Honda Monkey, but it could easily do highway speeds right from the factory, had real suspension, real brakes. You know, like that's what this feels like to me. Why would you buy a Honda Monkey when this thing exists? This is freaking awesome. A little more expensive than a Monkey, of course, but damn, dude, this is a good bike. This is a win from Triumph, baby. I still don't think I'm getting invited to Triumph's press events, but that's all right. I'll give you guys just this one win. I'm sure you'll do something stupid soon enough.
In my test ride, I kept comparing the Speed 400 to the Honda Monkey. That's really not fair. Not because of the price. This bike MSRPs for about $600 more than the Monkey does. The engine size comparison is a little unfair, but $600 for 400 cc's versus an air-cooled 125, yeah, that's not a fair comparison at all. Triumph wins that one all day long. It's really not fair because this is not a mini motorcycle. Now, it sort of is. I'd call it like a three-quarter bike. Back in the day, you would make that comparison with like the V-Star 650. The V-Star 650 looked like a full-size cruiser. It was just slightly smaller. That's what this bike is. It's a full-size bike. It's just slightly smaller. But I don't feel like it's too small for me even when I get on it. As previously stated, I'm 5'12 and a half, 300 pounds of all-American beef, baby, and this is what I look like on the bike. Like I said, not bad, dude. Now, not bad is subjective. You might feel like I've got a face like the wrong side of a baboon, but you're entitled to your opinion. It doesn't bother me none. Face like the wrong side of a baboon or not, there's plenty of people who prefer character over, what was that other thing? It's whatever you got, baby. Plenty of character, plenty of character. Chloe Cox is the best. 5'6", we won't say her weight, but I'm 5'12 and a half, so about 6.5 inches taller than Chloe. Let's see how Chloe looks on the same motorcycle. So you can almost flat foot it. Oh, you can completely flat foot it. With the boots on, which, you know, people will be wearing boots anyway, I would say that you're pretty damn close to flat footing it. As close enough for rock and roll anyway. So this is what Chloe looks like on it. So you've seen me at 5'12 and a half, Chloe at 5'6. Now we're gonna see me at 4'12 and a half. That's right. Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
What's up, weirdos?
All right, let's see what Shayleesi Surgeon looks like on the Triumph Speed 400.
Oh, wow.
At 4'12 and a half, my mini me is definitely...
I got my stompies on.
Definitely not flat footing it, but definitely still rideable.
You can see just how much my inseam sucks.
Yeah, well, 4'12 and a half is not exactly height that motorcycles are made for.
Usually what I do is just like one of these.
Yeah, it's called doing the stork. Yeah, so you can do that pretty easily. Go back and forth again so they can see. Yeah. She can still easily ride it. She has actually ridden one of these before. She did a video review on it before I did.
Is key in it?
Dude, I feel like I'm in Mad Max right now. As you can see, no problemo as long as you're confident enough to tippy toe it or do the baby stork. See ya.
I like it. But if a dude pulls up to your house and you can't hear his bike, that's not your boyfriend. That's your girlfriend.
Wise words from Shade Tree Surgeon Jr.
Take your baffle out. What is this?
Well, we are missing a couple of the Brapstar beauties to try out on this Triumph Speed 400, namely one long, tall, and deadly Blissful Ellie. If I squint off into the clouds far enough, I think I can see her silhouette somewhere, but I don't think she can hear me from down here. So we'll have to go get Cami Bay. Getting Cami Bay is even more dangerous than getting the attention of the giantess Blissful Ellie, because I'm gonna have to wake Cami up. Warning to anybody who isn't me, if you enter the lair of Cami Bay, if you dare step foot in front of this dragon, prepare to be devoured. I know what I'm doing. You gotta step softly. Time to wake up!
Oh my god.
Good morning!
What the fuck, Josh? Scared the fuck out of me. Is that my camera? That's
Yeah,
my
actually
camera.
it is.
Oh my god, you just gave me a fucking heart attack. I need Rockstar. Don't.
Okay, all right, she's up.
Okay.
Luckily, or unluckily, depending on who you ask, we escaped undevoured from the lair of the dragon, Cami Bay. We're gonna go riding as soon as she gets ready and gets over here. But before we go riding, we need to get something for Shayleesi to ride. She can certainly ride the Triumph, but I think that we're gonna go ahead and put Chloe Cox on that thing. And in the vein of the Speed 400, the closest thing Harley has to it that we own anyway is a Sportster, and Shay's Sportster still needs intake seals. Let's get that finished. A trap house? No, I don't want it to look like what it is.
Let's go, that's
California quiet. We're gonna jump from my channel over to the Shayleesi channel if you want to see what's wrong with the Sportster this time. POV, your Shade Tree Surgeon test riding Shayleesi's motorcycle. Okay, update. Problem with Shea Sportster, well, there's a bunch of problems with Shea Sportster, but the problem with the Shea Sportster right now is that previously I had tuned the carburetor thinking that that was the issue, but I tuned the carburetor with leaking intake seals being a factor. And then when I went out to test ride it again, it was tuned for leaking intake seals, so it wasn't running right. Anyway, a little bit of carburetor tuning later, the Green Goblin is back in action, baby. Sorry. Willem Dafoe's the Green Goblin. For another comparison, since we don't have Ellie to go 6'5", we have one David Tyler at 6'2" on the 400cc bike. Let's see what you look like. Of course, being able to flat foot it, that's no surprise, but I'm saying just take a look at what David looks like on it. I'm just saying it does not look, you don't look crazy. You don't look crazy huge for the bike.
No, it feels good.
Doesn't it feel like just a regular sized motorcycle, doesn't it?
Yep, it certainly does.
Well, take off, man. Let's see you. Come back, let me know what you think.
All right, I'm gonna go put some gas in it.
Right into my trap. I don't think I've ever let somebody borrow a bike that didn't need gas. So what'd you think, man?
Pretty cool bike.
For a 400cc, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's got a lot more little get up and go than I actually thought it was. I had up to 50 miles an hour, and it's comfortable. It's got a great suspension. It's peppy. Brakes are great on.
What do you think, Bilbo? Yeah, exactly. All right, you ready to give this thing? Oh wait, you got some
Pretzels?
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
That piece of hair.
What, this one?
No!
Okay, all right,
I was
all
just
right.
like eating the egg and just like snuffleupagus eating those pretzels.
I think most dudes who are watching this right now would be very happy to hear that you eat like a man.
I do. That's how I keep my six-pack.
Damn, dude, you need to chill
it
out.
happen?
All right, let's give the Triumph a whirl. I'm excited to see what you think of this thing.
It kind of reminds me of like a high-tech Ducati. Is Ducati better than this, or is this better than Ducati?
This is better than your Ducati, only because it's brand new.
Oh,
But
I don't like brand new bikes.
I think that Ducati actually makes a 400cc bike as well. I've just never ridden one.
It's too little.
Oh, you look dope as fuck in it though.
What, did you forget how cool my fucking helmet was?
Dude,
Is the titties too
yes.
fucking much for the thumbnail?
I don't know, we'll find out.
I'll do it down just a little. Barely stays
The
on.
top definitely needs to move if we're gonna make this YouTube safe. I meant the other way. The other way.
Now.
All right. Now we're YouTube safe.
Hold on,
again.
can the bottoms be out?
You know what? We're gonna say yes.
Just a little bit.
You should actually ride it now. People complain now if we don't put the thwomp sound in.
Oh my goodness.
Listen up, baby. You practice that in the mirror or what?
Every day of my life.
How tall are you, Cam?
5'2".
2.5 inches taller than Shay, but without quite the heels that Shay had. How you feel on it? You're a little tippy-toed.
It reminds me of a dirt bike-ish.
That's not so bad, though. You can touch on both sides. That's important.
I would just be very careful because if I'm on the dirt bike or whatever, I'll just throw that shit. I can't throw this one.
Well, you know, try not to.
Dude,
but
squish, my face is squished.
fire that sucker up. Take your first spin. Let me know what you think.
Hold that.
Yes, ma'am.
Ring, ding, 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 ding. I tried to ramp shit. It feels like a dirt bike.
You're next. It'll officially be the largest CC motorcycle that Chloe Cox has ever ridden. I'm excited. Meanwhile, Shay is slaving away.
I was trying to make it skirt. It's a dirt bike,
It's
dude.
got ABS.
Yeah, I know. It didn't let me do it.
Yeah.
I gotta get off of this. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Dude, you look tough. Hard as a concrete dildo, baby.
That's the kind of compliment I like.
Miss Chloe Cox.
Hey.
The Odin gloves, the white fox pants, the combat boots. My girl's ready to ride. Dude, that's the type of girl on girl we like around here. Don't cut me out of the equation though. Don't forget your favorite cameraman over here. But the only thing I'll say about this one is just remember that you can't go as fast in the yard
that's what
because
I
it
was-
has street tires
Don't worry.
on it.
But it works just the same as the other one? Just like...
Nothing's different, except it'll have more power, that's it. Hell yeah. There she goes.
So good about it.
I know.
Cool. Let me see if I can ramp over this thing.
How do you like it?
I can definitely feel its weight. It feels a lot heavier, but I do like it. It feels
Yeah,
really
can you
good.
feel that it's got more power?
I'm trying really hard to
Yeah.
kind of hold back a little bit. But
I bet you are.
never could have imagined myself riding a bike like this years ago, and now here I am riding such a big bike, and it feels so awesome.
What a friendly little sound. Hell yeah. It is crazy. I have very rarely felt a 400cc single that feels this smooth, this not buzzy, this understressed. Even when they make a lot of power and they're hauling ass, for some reason, just to me, big thumpers always kind of feel like they're working so damn hard. Maybe it's got a short stroke, maybe it's just really well balanced. Whatever it is, it's working. Feels crazy to have that little 400 just jump right up to 11,000 RPM and it doesn't feel like a Hitachi. God, it's just so slick, dude. Well, if I'm gonna go see the wizard, I better bring a dark offering. No Negro Modelo? Oh, well, any port in a storm, sailor. Well, if old Jared Weems is Gandalf the White, I'm definitely Radagast the Brown. Elixir of +3 speechcraft acquired. Well, let's go see Jared. I'm already pretty damn late. I talk about old versus new. I think the judge has got 150 cc's, or at least 100 cc's on the Speed 400, but the Speed 400 is light years ahead of that motorcycle. Now, that might be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on who you're asking. Ask Jared Weems, and you'll know which one he prefers. Dang, dude. 70 miles an hour on the judge with a half flat back tire? My friends, that is bold.
Well, I've certainly been waxing poetic in distillate tones about the Triumph Speed 400, but take all that with a grain of salt. Any new motorcycle is always going to have that whiz-bang wow factor that just makes you love everything about it. You should especially take this from reviewers like me, who rarely does reviews for this reason, but from reviewers who don't actually own the motorcycle. I picked out the only motorcycle on the floor that I could afford, which makes it more real for me. It makes me feel like I can be more authentic, but always take it with a grain of salt, because anybody who's doing a review of a motorcycle they don't own hasn't actually plunked down the money to buy that motorcycle. Now, the opposite holds true sometimes when somebody buys a motorcycle, spends the money on it, and feels the need to justify to everyone how amazing it is because they spent a bunch of money on it. Anyway, you should probably take all reviews with a grain of salt. I'm just saying specifically, I don't do reviews because I don't really love doing reviews of motorcycles that I can't afford. Now, this motorcycle I can afford, but I haven't actually paid for it yet. It is on loan. I want that to be excruciatingly clear. I'm also a super huge fan of it, and so far it's great. As far as giving it the thumbs up, the thumbs down, 5 out of 5 Ichiban Moto stickers, I haven't done that just yet because I've only had it for about 48 hours. What I can tell you is I think that this is an amazing bike. I love the concept. I love this tiny little engine that packs so much power in an affordable price. I love everything about this bike. I think it's great. I like that I can ride it comfortably, and Shaylisi can ride it comfortably, and David can ride it comfortably, and Cami Bay can ride it comfortably, and Chloe Cox can ride it comfortably. The fact that it fits that many people without a problem is something almost unheard of in the motorcycle world. This little Triumph has a lot going for it, in my opinion anyway. But let's do a long-term test review on it, and I'll stop slobbing Triumph's knob over here, and we'll see what I think about it after putting a few thousand miles on the thing. Huge thanks to Bert's Black Pearl, and of course Bert's Barracuda and Bert's Black Widow. There's not a whole lot of people out there that would let a dirty hobo swamp wizard like yours truly have a brand new motorcycle to review with no expectations or no requirements that the review be positive. And I'm sure that Bert would probably prefer that I take an expensive motorcycle home to wax poetic about how amazing it is, but he doesn't say crap and says, you know what, go ahead and take that little 400, do what you please with it, make whatever videos you want. Bert's Barracuda, Bert's Black Pearl, Bert's Black Widow, Bert the man himself is a pretty cool dude. Not only cool because he's letting me review this motorcycle long term, but also cool because of the charity work he does. Now, if you want a chance to win a motorcycle much bigger than this one, you can win the motorcycle that I blew up, which is currently being rebuilt bigger, badder, and better. That's the supercharged Road Glide, the 135 build by Blockhead Garage. And it's not just about a really cool motorcycle, it's about what Bert does with Bert's Salute to America Foundation. He helps homeless veterans here in America, the people who have done the most for us and are getting the least, who are on the streets. He helps bridge the gap and get them off the streets and into an address so they can start rebuilding their life and start collecting their well-deserved VA benefits. And I know know there's a lot of hate towards the VA, but these guys deserve something, and they deserve better than the VA, and they deserve better than a system that allows them to be homeless and won't give them any benefits at all until they can have an address. But we're gonna do what we can with what we have right now. So that link's down below. It's 20 bucks a ticket. There's a whole bunch of other prizes, including a fishing trip down here, all expenses paid, custom paint jobs, thousands of dollars in giveaways for all of Bert's dealerships. Click that link down below. Be a bad person doing good things. Check out Bert's Salute to America Foundation and grab your chance at a really, really, really big bike that I hope they let me ride again. But in the meantime, I'll be happy with this little Speed 400. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade Tree? Army. Shade Tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.